and it's a wrap. Spotify have released their 2022 Wrapped for all those users who use their platform on the regular, like me, who for a very long time was using free and enjoying free and went and spent money on a subscription and then really loved that, and then the money part was annoying me and then unsubscribed, and then mum-in-law went to get married, and so we needed a reliable playlist system, and so we subscribed for Spotify, and then I unsubscribed and my wife kept her subscription, and then I complained about ads, and then they changed it from 30 minutes to 15 minutes for ads and stuff, and then it's fine on desktop, but then mobile is so annoying on free. And so that system worked. I guess it brought me back as a paying customer, and so with the Duo subscription I'm now back on premium just in time for Spotify 2022 Wrapped, and I'm quite rapt to be back on board with the system. Now, interestingly, top artists weren't really a surprise this time around. I had Primus at 1, Puscifer at 2, Frank Klepacki at 3, A Perfect Circle at 4, and Ghost at 5. What's really interesting this time around though is they've got Spotify have got like a personality test type category pigeonhole thing, and I am the time traveler. You're like a musical time traveler, a sonic historian. You seek out music that's new to you, regardless of whether it's new to the rest of the world. ETVU. Exploration, timelessness, variety, and uniqueness. So there you go. So I'll provide a link to my playlist, my top 101 songs. But I read an article just before on CNET from a former PC Power Play writer who was complaining and in mourning and in goblin mode about the fact that his kids had basically destroyed his playlist, or his Wrapped, because it's all, kid songs and songs from video games and stuff. It's pretty much meme worthy. Really funny. You should check it out. Anyway, let's give a rundown on my top list. There were a few surprises, but there were also some really interesting observations and a little bit of nostalgia along the way, and who knows, you might learn something about me, or I might learn something about you once you comment on this story. Anyway, number 1 was Strawberry Fields Forever. Now, it's true I'm late to the Beatles party. As a kid, didn't really listen to them. Parents, I think it's fair to say, weren't big fans, or were just more interested in other bands and music that came after them, which is fine. I guess the big change was just I've got friends who are big Beatles fans, seen a lot of discourse about the Beatles on Twitter, and I guess what really amplified that for me was the documentary that Peter Jackson directed that had me enthralled and curious to hear more, and in doing so learnt a lot more and found myself immersed in that fascinating slice of history, and became very quickly fixated on the Get Back album, but then also on Strawberry Fields Forever. I found out that one of the founders of KLF, that's one of his favourite songs, Strawberry Fields Forever, so I think that's probably another reason why I listen to it quite frequently. I think the app actually honed in on it and said that I played it 40 times and it was mostly listened to on the 25th of April. Interesting. At number 2, Conspiranoia by Primus. I'm surprised they didn't make the number 1 spot. I'm a massive fan of Les Claypool and the gang. When their new track launched, I was overjoyed. Had this tune on loop for days on end. It's about 11 and a half minutes long, and it doesn't seem like it's that long when you listen to it. I just love the journey. It's definitely on brand with the iconic bass and distinct vocal aesthetic complemented by the guitar, the drums, and their other unique chemistry, their magic. By and large, I think the most recent tunes to come out of them are a lot better than their 2014 album, Primus and the Chocolate Factory, which is just, their own renditions and takes on the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory stuff. The 2017 album, It's a Saturating 7, loved it. That was taking a kid's book and just adapting that in their own style, and that was awesome. So I feel like we sort of dipped for a bit, and then we're coming back stronger and stronger and stronger. So really excited that it's 2022, and I'm still pretty much enjoying Primus, a band that I discovered as a kid and listened to a lot in high school, and just kept that up. At number 3, One Nation Under a Groove. This Funkadelic tune from 1978 came out of nowhere. I'm sure I heard it somewhere, but I just can't pinpoint where that was, whether it was the YouTube rabbit hole or something I was watching. It's catchy, it's upbeat, it's fun. What more do you want? Number 4, Call Me Little Sunshine by Ghost. The Swedish rock band has a sense of humour and a malleable style that has seen them produce a variety of songs. While this pop hit is okay, I'm surprised it ranks so high on my list because they have better examples in their collection, such as Rats and Pro Memoria. Number 5, In the Shadows, featuring Messy MC, Broken Eye Remix. Thanks to the Twitch channel Laser Highway for illuminating this banger. Not much to say on it other than it goes hard on a Friday night. At number 6, Beatmaker by Matt Berry and Emma Noble. I think it's the outro tune to the latest season of Toast of London. I think it's perfect. It captures the anachronistic vibe of the show while giving us a glimpse of this seemingly sexist, dodgy lead actor. Number 7, Within the Stream, original mix by Snook. This is another Laser Highway banger, and the host from that Twitch channel mentioned this particular track samples Frank Klepacki, which, if that's the case, is really cool. Klepacki scored the early Command & Conquer games from 1995 and Red Alert in 1996, and he did a few other games from there, and he's got a very successful career composing for other games and his own projects. In 2020, he actually returned to tidy his material, or probably before 2020, to just clean up the music that he produced for Command & Conquer and remaster tracks for the Remastered collection, which is a game that, really enjoyed. And I am not the competitive RTS player I used to be. I can't. There's some sneaky tricks that go on online, and I cannot keep up with the current meta for Command & Conquer, even though that game, the game itself is, came out in 95. It's got a very passionate player base, but interesting. So we're up to number 8, Conditions of My Parole by Puscifer. This may have been a song that helped me all those years ago. Prior to this project, I was keen on Tool or Perfect Circle, but it's funny how our preferences in music can change over the years. Throughout late high school, I was all about a Perfect Circle, very moody music. Pivoted to Tool during late high school, early uni, early progressive rock, and then these days I actually think Puscifer out of all of those projects is the best one. Maybe it's that recurring comedic relief and the more recent briefcase stuff that they do in their vids that I love. I do like Conditions of My Parole as a standalone song, but I think Existential Reckoning as a complete album is the pinnacle of Puscifer greatness, so far at least. And number 9, wow. We're not even a tenth of the way through. Number 9, Dance Macabre by Ghost. I rate it for being sappy, and that's all I'll say. Number 10, Lord Scunge, Twitter user, introduced me to Electricity by Ibibio Sound Machine earlier this year, and it's clear I need to listen to more electronic Afro-funk. There's the synth, the nuanced percussion, even the vocals, which complement each brilliantly. Great song. 11, Be of the Bird of the Moth by They Might Be Giants. I've been a fan of this band since Birdhouse New Soul. These guys are amazing for their lyrical and musical talent, and I love the line, got a brand new shipment of electrical equipment. It's addressed to the bottom of the sea. I don't know, they just never fail to amuse with their lyrics and their music as well, and they've been consistently going for many, many years. Number 12, In the Doorway, Lucy Roleff and Lehmann B. Smith. I've been following Lehmann's poetry since uni. We went to uni together, so we know each other. He used to share scraps of paper which contained poem compositions with a friend during lectures, and he went on to focus on his music and has consistently produced music that I've quite enjoyed from afar. His collaboration with Lucy is arguably one of his more refined efforts, and the outcome of that album is quite ethereal and haunting. It's really good. Really, it's a little bit different from his usual solo efforts. Not to say that one's better or worse, it's just very different, and I really enjoy it. And I saw that he's got a new album, if it's not already out, called Scrap, which is all sorts of mixes and things from past albums that have been brought together. So really excited to listen to that as well. So good work, Lucy, good work, Lehmann. Good stuff. Number 13, the Flute tune, Soulpride remix. It's totally a meme. I was playing Hell Let Loose, World War II online first-person shooter, and one of the teammates was casually talking about his YouTube channel on Open Comms, and I was like, oh, okay. So I took a look, and sure enough, he uploaded a compilation video of highlights that had that flute song in it, and it was just dumb, and I liked it. So it's it's been playing quite a lot. Number 14, And this is another one thanks to memes. It's Giorgio by Moroder, Daft Punk. If you don't know it, listen to it, you'll know it pretty quick. Number 15, this one is dedicated to my late friend Jim. That's Entertainment by The Jam. There's a real realness to the lyrics that cuts through. It reminds me of the days where I used to sit by the lounge window on a Saturday night and watch the intersection across the road with a pack of chips, just waiting for the next car accident. It was quite a regular occurrence. Pretty horrible stretch of road. And the real entertainment, though, was the people who would come out and congregate on the corner. We had BMX boy, share house guy, balding ex-security neighbour. There were just so many personalities. There's a book there, I'm sure. Number 16, Get Into It, Yeah, Doja Cat. I hate it now. Such an anomaly. Maybe it was the raunchy film clip that held my attention, or an interview with Nadwa. There's just this one rap verse that I really like because it just goes really fast and it goes pretty hard. And it's, I don't know, I find that I'm amused by what she does. I don't know, it held me for a period of time. I listened to it now and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm a bit over it now, but I'm just curious that it ranks so high. Number 17, Something in the Way Nirvana. That is 100% the Batman influence. It's good brooding music. Interesting that they came back around. Number 18, Let's Form a Company by TISM. Now, this is serious, Mum. This is my theme song for capitalism. That particular film clip is hilarious, but maybe not as iconic as What Are Ya? That morning aerobics class stitch up, which I remember watching as a kid, the Oz Aerobics show. So it's funny seeing that parodied. And did you hear? They're back in town as a group performing. We should go see them. Let's form a company. Let's do it now. Number 19, Social's Good Future. This guy popped up in my YouTube feed for his masterful covers of the Spider-Man and Mandalorian themes. His take on Peaches, Except It's the Strokes, is also worth checking out. Socials is a Good Future original which tackles the behind the scenes of social media from the user perspective, and I quite like it. Number 20, Zero by the Years. So new material surfaced for them recently, which was met with a resounding meh from me, despite some of the people they collaborated with. I was just like, no, it's not feeling it. With Zero, we've all been that person traipsing through the city without a care, doing your thing. That's what I like about that band. Number 21, From One Another, Totally Mild. Now, it's a shame this band disbanded. They made beautiful music. They're kind of easy listening. That was good for a tram ride on the way back to a party on a Friday night, or nursing a hangover on a humid Sunday morning. I still listen to them. I like them. All the band members have gone off to their own stuff, and that includes Lehmann. Lehmann B. Smith was part of that group, and he's doing his own thing, and the lead singer, her name escaped me, sorry. She's doing amazing stuff as well. Number 22, Get Back, remastered 2009, The Beatles. Thanks, Peter Jackson. Number 23, Golden Boy by Primus. Now, this is a pleasant surprise. It's heavy on the drums. It's when Brian Mantia joined the group. It's got Larry Lalonde on the guitar and Les Claypool on bass and vocals. And the lyrics, they tell a pretty straightforward story. One that's worth listening to, especially in a time where gun violence and lack of regulation with gun control is rife in the US. Number 24, Red Rock Riviera, Sea Power. Now, I'm there right now. I'm seated at the hostel cafeteria, whirling in rags and martinets, at war with the voices in my head. Shivers won't relent about the cold radiating from the glass window pane. Horrific necktie wants to bail. Volition says, don't listen to him and just talk. If you have no idea what I'm talking about or what I'm referring to, it's a role-playing game, Disco Elysium. Like a good book, it left me thinking about it long after the final chapter. It's just phenomenal storytelling, and the music just complemented it so well. Number 25, Dream Warriors by Dokken. It's actually a cover by Deaders that caught my attention. Of course, for the mainstream crowd, this song was prepared for A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, and it holds up. Number 26, Overdrive, Laserhawk. Pretty simple, really. Drive fast and enjoy. Number 27, Poison Flowers, Billy Howardell. My man from A Perfect Circle released a solo album, and it sounds exactly like you'd expect it to be. And it takes me back to my high school days. Pretty solid. I liked it. Number 28, Top of the World, Kimbra. Now, this is female empowerment, the song. And I love it. Number 29, Elephant Triple J, Like a Version, The Wiggles. My brother-in-law has this on vinyl and it's awesome. What's next for them? Perhaps a cover of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard? On the same vinyl, I was delighted to find a cover by the sexy Donny Benet. Number 30, Target by Frank Klepacki. Now that's classic Command & Conquer, Silos Needed. Number 31, Hovering Sombrero, They Might Be Giants. Now, Mint Carr as an album was pretty solid and still is. Number 32, Orion Remastered, Metallica. That 2019 film Triple Frontier ends with this banger. It's a brutal movie, no spoilers. Number 33, Amethyst Realm, The Claypool Lennon Delirium. I'd happily move this higher up. It's an incredible collaboration. Number 34, The Court of the Crimson King, King Crimson. Now that's appropriate. Les Claypool was performing King Crimson covers as part of his live performances, and I found my way to the source. Number 35, How About It by Pickpocket. Now they're a local talent. I know one of the gentlemen in that group, and it's a groove that I thoroughly enjoy. Number 36, Amnesia, Chairlift. Wow, a relatively new entry to the playlist, yet it had already made its mark. Well played. Number 37, Skyrocket, The Murlocs. You've probably heard fans claim they're gay for Ambrose. Well, how can you not be with this dude? With Heath Ledger out of the picture, Uncle Merle could easily fit in as the next Joker. The guy is an absolute delight, but I can see there's a bit of a sneaky side to him that would reflect really well on camera. We've seen him in film clips. Number 38, Nightmare, Brendan Small. It's interesting, he's the Metalocalypse guy, and he went on to do other projects like this. That's okay. I'm curious that it made it so high. 39, I Wouldn't Want to Be Like You, the Alan Parsons Project. Now, I grew up on Pink Floyd and branched out to Alan Parsons after exhausting Dad's CD collection. This is a timeless classic and I love it. Number 40, Still, Ghetto Boys. Now, The Office continues to age well. We'd probably switch the copier for a mobile phone though. Yeah. This one is a complete surprise. I'm like, I really listen to this? I don't think I do, but anyway. Number 41, Comme Ce Todd by Ariane. Now, It All Comes Tumbling Down. This is the anthem for depressed Evangelion fandom. It's a beautiful song. Number 42, Disillusioned by Perfect Circle, a more recent-ish comeback from the group, which attacks anyone glued to their electronics. Number 43, Ordinary Man, featuring Elton John, Ozzy Osbourne. Man, this slaps with a hint of sadness. It's a good song. Number 44, Vigilante 2084, Perturbator. It's good noise. It's on recommendation from a work colleague who happens to love his cyberpunk tabletop. Number 45, Off-White Limousine, Client Liaison. These Melbourne lads are an absolute riot and good for a laugh. Number 46, Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode. I do enjoy me some Essex electronica. Number 47, Swanky Mode's Jarvis Cocker. Now, I'd never heard of this guy until a friend recommended one of his videos and instantly fell for it. It's great. 48, Narc, Mega Drive, It's More Noise. Number 49, Build a Fire, KLF. Now, KLF have finally entered the building. This one takes me back to when I was a child in the backseat on a long drive home. Number 50, Rats, Ghost. I'd see this one. I saw this one coming. Now, the racists would interpret the song as anti-immigration, but I like to think it's a nod to the Skaven and Warhammer. You know, Swedish rock. Just don't think about it too hard. Just enjoy it. Number 51, Sour Grapes, Legends of the Mix. Puscifer. Thanks, Dad. Here we have the country bumpkin era of the band Puscifer with Hildy. It's got good twang, good humour. Hi, Jesus. It's a good track. Number 52, Planet Earth 2010 remastered, Duran Duran. Now, I always say this, and I've said this since The Walking Dead shambled onto our TV screens. Now, if I ever wrote a spin-off series, this would be the intro theme. I think the franchise, under my reign, would be much lighter in tone, maybe even comedic. Number 53, Private Idaho, the B-52s. You're living your own Private Idaho, enough said. Number 54, On Melancholy Hill, Gorillaz. Good for having a sad. Plastic Beach as an album was okay, I guess. Nothing beats Demon Days, which ends on a soaring high. Number 58, Hopeless Bleak Despair, They Might Be Giants. Even these guys know how to make a sad song fun. 56, Meet Your Master, The Faint 9 Inch Nails. Now, over halfway and we get to Trent Reznor finally. This one's catchy. The Year Zero remix album is pretty damn good. That opening by Saul Williams is powerful. But more broadly looking at 9 Inch Nails, I still think 9 Inch Nails Ghosts is the best. great. Number 57, The Birth, Metalocalypse. This is Doomstar Requiem. This is a rock opera, and that's just a part of it. It's great. Number 58, Self by Stephen Wilson. Now, again, blame my dad for getting into Porcupine Tree and then following Wilson's solo work, because then he got me into this. Number 59, Francesca the Murlocs. I'm still gay for Ambrose. Number 60, Lumberjack, Tyler the Creator. Now, ever since Loiter Squad, I've been following Tyler with keen interest. I do love his style, and he just continues to amaze. Number 61, 1991, Crystal Castles. Now, it's just noise, but it's on recommendation from my good friend R. 62, Take My Hand, Matt Berry. Now, the film clip of this is sad. It's about a man with a robot, but, contrast that with the intro theme for Toast of London. Number 63, Ave Maria. No, not because of the Batman. Blame Agent 47. There's this credit sequence in one of the Hitman games that has a surprise ending, and my sister discovered it. It's an Easter egg, and I lost my mind. It involved a funeral and your character not necessarily being dead in the coffin. When she discovered that, I was like, what? I've completely missed the point of the end of that game, and it just changed my perspective on the game. I'm an idiot, and it was probably obvious to a lot of people. Number 64, Feign Amnesia. They Might Be Giants. Another one from the guys. That's funny. 65, Gunshots by Computer. Now, this is the poetic opener that I referred to before for Year Zero Remixed. It hits hard. It's a solid, strong song. It's powerful. Probably one of the most powerful openers to an album I've ever heard. It's really good. Number 66, Lucidity. Paluski Remix, Tame Impala. Where my drugs at? But then who needs drugs when you're lucid and you're listening to Tame Impala, right? Number 67, Intro M83. This was removed from Spotify but listed anyway. It has significance with the TV series Mr. Robot. Number 68, Mink Car, They Might Be Giants. I'm starting to think TMBG paid Spotify lots of money to get in here. Number 69, The Killing Moon, Echo and the Bunnymen. I did watch Donnie Darko on a plane this year, and I did notice someone on Twitter make a joke which ties in with that film, so very much still relevant culturally. Number 70, Rebuilding a Planet, Brendan Small. You truly become the storm listening to this. Number 71, Konnichiwa, Donny Benet. Hi, Donny. It's good to see you join the party. Number 72, Andromeda, Weighs Blood. Now, Natalie's vocals are incredible. Absolutely adore her. That Andromeda song, I could just listen to that all day. Number 73, I Can't Live Without You, Queen. Started to get a bit worried there, Freddie, that you didn't get the invite, but this is a classic, and I'm glad you're here. I do enjoy the Innuendo album. Number 74, now it's French. I'm going to say it in English. Battle Decisive by Shiro Sagisu. He's Japanese. I Am an Evangelion Romantic. Number 75, Aim Fire, Art versus Science. These Sydney dudes are cool. That's the first song of theirs I heard, and I still think it's one of their best. They released a song earlier this year, which is really funny. It's very Monty Python-ish. Number 76, Black Fingernails, Red Wine, Eskimo Joe. This one, a bit of nostalgia, and it's probably had fair play because it's kind of funny. Reminds me of high school days. Number 77, Tricks of the Light by Mike Oldfield. Man, that album discovery is cool. My parents raised me on a healthy diet of tubular bells and the wind chimes. Number 78, Outro M83. Another one that's been scrubbed from Spotify, but it's still ranked. And again, it ties in with Mr. Robot. Maybe White Rose had a hand in this. Number 79, The Less I Know The Better, Tame Impala. This one went mainstream and just resides in my brain. Poor Trevor. Number 80, Power Mad, Primus. With an album name like Antipop, how can you not love it? It just sounds good. Number 81, Planet B, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. It's good noise. But I prefer their other styles. Number 82, Polyester Girl, Regurgitator. My dad won a spelling competition as part of a radio promotion on site at Cherry Lake and was awarded a copy of the album Unit, if I've remembered correctly. Now, that disc would go on to influence the household for years. So shiny. Number 83, Sabrosa, Beastie Boys. When they're not rapping, they produce cool music. 84, Mama Said by Puscifer. Put on your deepest voice and sing it for the lols. Number 85, The Invisible Man, Queen. The Miracle is also a great album. Pretty sure I was using the clothesline handle as a microphone to sing The Miracle as a kid. Possibly last week as well. Number 86, Demon Clutch, Frank Klepacki. I think this track is from a more recent album, Transform. It just goes to show the guy continues to innovate and produce awesome sounds. Number 87, Sweet Dreams by Borns. Now, did this guy get cancelled? He's got the voice of an angel, but probably one of those bad ones. I think he did something bad and then he's just disappeared. Yeah. Number 88, Ready for the Floor, Hot Chip. I imagine warehouse workers listen to this ad nauseum. Number 89, Way to Go, Empire of the Sun. One day I'm going to cosplay as one of those guys. I love them. Number 90, Erin on the Side of Caution by Primus. The title is very punny. Number 91, Loretta, Ginger Root. Our man Cameron is a fan of Evangelion, as witnessed in a recent online concert where he mixed it into his set. The respect for the man just skyrocketed after that. Number 92, You Only Live Once, The Strokes. Now, I'll never be as cool as Julian Casablancas, and you know what? I'm okay with that. That's cool. You keep doing you, and I will listen to you. Number 93, Dirty Laundry by Danny Brown. Now, this is a complete fabrication. Danny invents a sleazy character and runs wild with it in this little narrative of a story, and it's dirty, it's funny, he leans into the humour, and I think that's where Danny Brown works best, is when you don't take him too seriously and you just let him do his thing. Number 94, Do What You Want, The Presets. Now, alcohol is required for this, or if you don't drink alcohol, just don't get much sleep and yeah, you'll feel it. Number 95, Ginger Root again with Juban District. Or Juban District, rather. It's a good place to get down. Number 96, The Night Begins to Shine by BER. This is something that my daughters got me into while watching Teen Titans, bless them. Number 97, Sex and Violence, Endorphin. It still checks out, and it's one that my dad introduced me to years ago in one of our drives. There's a lot of music influences from him, which is good. Number 98, Far From Any Road, The Handsome Family. It's about time I watched True Detective again. In Rust, I Trust. Number 99, Comet's Confetti by Lehmann B. Smith. It's a catchy tune. It's like if you had a really smart elevator and it played cool, like, you know, bit tune type stuff. It's got that kind of vibe. Number 100, Hertz, Amel and the Sniffers, Straya. I mean, what more can you say? You know, I think I saw Amel, or Amy rather. I saw her in the Viagra Boys, and I saw that clip that she did with them, and I was like, oh wow, I got to check her out. And then, yeah, she's got cred. And 101, the last one, Talk by A Perfect Circle. It works as a pretty neat nightcap. So that's it. That's the list, and that's a bit of insight from me as a person, as a listener, as a human being, sort of lifting the word tweak mask a bit just to get a glimpse of the man operating inside the machine. I'd be curious to hear what your thoughts are on the list and your own experience with Spotify Wrapped and your thoughts with the app and music in general. It's ironic. This is podcast number 2, and I'm sort of leaning into the music. It's interesting. The first podcast sort of had a bit of a broad focus, just a bit of a sampler. And this one, well, it was very timely to talk about Spotify. So that's exactly what I've done. So that's it from me. Please like, share, subscribe. Dislike if you don't like it. I think it's important to get the feedback either way. And yeah, we'll talk soon.